For the beginning of the story, we have the Full HD lineup. So we have 2 small screens and 2 large screens for Full HD. We start on the left here with the 4000 small screen. It will come in a 22-inch and a 24-inch, all in the same design, the black, high gloss black with a local detail for the brand, with some light pickup surface, and also a little bit of air underneath here achieved by these edge stands. So that air and lightness is something that you'll see throughout the range for 2016. So from the basic 4000, you see here on the right the step up 5200 model. This will only be available in 24-inch and will only come in the colour that you see here. So basically a white cabinet with silver detailing on the controls and the cloth, and similarly on the remote control. So the proposition here is this is exactly how you take it out of the box. So it's a fully integrated sound base. The point being that it has decent solid picture quality and also excellent sound reproduction. Basically building on the current trend of Bluetooth sound devices. So you can push content from your smartphone to the base to listen back. It does not wall mount because of the integrated sound base, but you can see on the back that there's a cable management system on the back to make it easy to use. And then finally the colour itself, obviously we see the form factor and the usability perfectly fits with secondary spaces such as kitchens, bedrooms. So both the usability of the sound but also the colours.
Okay, specification wise, I think Tim also covered it in his sound demonstration. So you have 60 watt of sound, 8 watt front firing to left and right speakers, and you have the bottom firing sound for the bass sound. Yeah, like what Rod said, it's Bluetooth enabled, but it's also you're also capable of connecting a jack plug, so you can also have a cabled connection. And last but not least, you can use it as a monitor. It has a VGA connection, so also nice to have it in your study to have an integrated sound system and a monitoring one. What Rod said, only 24-inch. If you look at the standard 4000 series, it's coming in 22-inch and 24-inch. 22-inch being full HD and 24-inch being HD ready. And standard connectivity USB and HDMI, non-smart. Okay, let's move to the bigger screen sizes.
So we start with the FHD 4000, which is here. So high gloss black obviously is what we think fits best at this low anchor point. High gloss black, simple, clean bezel, also coming back in the reduced Philips signature detail essentially. And also we recognise that edge stands are obviously in vogue at the moment, but we also see the need to bring the width in order that the overall footprint fits in modern, normal pieces of furniture. So this is the anchor point, this is the starting story for the range in large screen. Then from the 4000, this is, you could say, the high-end Full HD. This is the 5500. And to clearly visualize that step up to the 5.5, we bring in a full silver bezel. Also a local subtle detail to give a bit of a surfacing for the brand, recognizable Philips face. And then some aluminium stands. So these pinch designs float the product off the table and you give you a lot of space and air underneath here to clearly communicate modern technology within a Full HD proposition.
Okay, then shortly about specifications. So the 4000 is the basic entry big screen sizes. So you have the standard functionality USB, HDMI, non-smart. And then moving to the 5.5, there you make a big step in Smart TV. You go to have Android, 8 GB of built-in memory, dual core processing. I think also Shubham explained something about the platforms and about the speed of the sets. So this is the highest end Full HD in the range with Android, with already a nice sound quality. It's available in 32-inch until 49-inch. And the 4000 series is from 32-inch till 48-inch, and there is an HD ready set in 32-inch as well. Alright, any questions on Full HD? Otherwise we move forward to UHD. All clear? Great. Let's go, UHD.
Okay, so 6100 is where UHD starts. So again we go back to high gloss black. tight, minimal bezel. For the brand expression here, we add a little bit of a chrome trim to pick up some light in the store, and also these are steel. So we use steel so that in front view they're extremely slim. So again, although they're black, they largely disappear from view when you're looking from the front. Then from the base Ultra HD 6.1, we take the step to the two versions of the same product. So these are both 6400. There's a 32-inch on the right hand side, obviously a larger screen here in 55. And for this we use a dark metallic finishing on the bezel. We also have a chrome trim, and the 6.4 is where we bring in backlighting on the Philips signature. And again, we have the dark metallic finishing on these pinch stands, both on the 32 and above.
Okay, then specifications. So what Rod already mentioned, this is the entry UHD 6.1 series. We made the deliberate choice to also put in digital natural motion in the 6.1 already. I think also Danny explained that in his presentation. So we already put nice picture quality processing in the 6.1 onwards. Also, it will have a smart TV, so entry smart. So not Android, but at least it has the most important services like Netflix. So it's a nice entry UHD television with nice picture quality, and it has a dual core processor. Then you make a big move to the 6.4. Besides what Rod already explained in design, you make a big step in the platform, so you go to a quad-core processor. So basically the platform we'll have and we'll use in the 6.4 and up is the platform we also use in the 8.6. We launched end of 2015. So it's a well-performing platform, especially also for smart functionalities like Android. This is also where Android starts in the UHD range. It has 20 watt of sound, so you make a step in sound as well. Tim showed you and demonstrated the sound quality of the 6.4, so you have the 20 watt bottom firing sound. And it has 8 GB of built-in memory. The two sets you'll see is a 32-inch. This is a full HD execution. There's no UHD 32-inch in the market at all. But we want to launch this in Europe because we see smaller households who don't have the space for a big TV. But those consumers really like Ambilight. So this is the set they can then still buy to have a 32-inch Ambilight television. It has dual core processing and it's Android enabled. And then the second set, what I said, that's where you move to the quad-core processor and the 4K UHD set. So it's available from 32-inch until 55-inch. And last but not least, of course, it's where the Ambilight starts.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the 6.5 series.
So this is this was the beginning part of the range, so the low part of the range. We have the high end still to come, but this wall here is very much that transition part of the range where we go into the 6,500. These are all 6,500, but we start to introduce more high end elements. So this is the core 6501, full silver bezel, and we bring in these full chrome arch stands. The chrome itself radiating quality, of course, but also this detail itself seemingly allowing the television to float above the table. Downlighting on the brand signature here in transparency, again communicating that transparency and lightness. And again, like the 6.4, the 6.5 has two-sided Ambilight in this version. We also bring in a new remote control for the 6.5, which is what you see here. Basically, compared to the previous generation, it's narrower, shorter. The keys, however, are larger, and on the back side, the keyboard itself is centralized, and the keys again are larger compared to the previous generation. So you can have a look at that later. So I mentioned these are all 6.5s. Flora's going to explain the difference between all three. Visually, these two are exactly the same. But if you compare the edge stands of the chrome arch with what you see here, then obviously you can see the difference. And not everybody is completely on board about the value of edge stands, so we do also prepare what you see here, which is a central neck, traditional, more classic stand, but we also introduce an extremely slim aluminium front edge neck with a brush finishing with matching silver. So that's the 6,500 story.
specification wise, 6.5 is a big step in picture quality because you go to 200 Hz frame rate. I think Danny covered that in his presentation, so that is the 100 Hz plus scanning backlight, where you have here the 50 Hz plus scanning backlight, which you claim 100 Hz frame rate. So the picture quality processing and the picture quality display is better. Android wise, we go to 16 GB built-in memory, so you go from 8 GB to 16 GB memory. And we introduce Wi-Fi AC in the 6.5 and up to really make sure that you have a nice, seemingly good connection with, for example, if you stream UHD content. Two-sided Ambilight, what Rod already said. There is also a derivative model which you see in the middle, so design-wise exactly the same, but the middle set will have a three-sided Ambilight. So a consumer really has the choice what he wants to buy, either two-sided or three-sided Ambilight. On the left side, Rod already explained, we have the central neck interface and the central neck stand coming with it. We also have the 6581, which is not displayed here. That's basically the three-sided Ambilight television with the swipe remote control. So standard, what Rod already explained, it comes with this remote control. The 6581 comes with the swipe remote control we also have on the H6 series. Worth mentioning is that this remote control is not Bluetooth enabled, it's infrared. So you don't need to pair it anymore with the television. You have the infrared window on this side, so if you type, it's transmitting from this side. If you use it on this way, it's transmitting from this side. You can even hold it almost in a 45 degrees angle and it's still working well with the television. Of course you cannot type like this, but at least it works very well in an angle as well. Also here the platform, it's as we use in the H6, so it's a quad-core processor for a nice Android experience as well. And also here we have the 20 watt bottom firing sound. Alright, let's move to the 7 Rod.
Yep. Okay, so this is the high-end part of the story, and we start with the 7100 here on the right. Actually, we got some good news on the 7100 in that it won an IF Design Award last week. So you don't see any graphics because it's fresh news, but anyhow, it's in the post. The 7100 is obviously a step up in dimensions, and that's achieved largely by what you see is a full aluminium wrap. So it's all metal. Full aluminium wrap with the brush detailing up close. It's very much about using a dark, subtle finishing on the aluminium in order to give the picture the key attention. In combination with that, we've included what you see here, these chrome ribbon stands. So they're clearly referencing modern furniture, and by doing that, we think they're much more able to fit into a modern context of use in the living room environment. The same brand detailing that you've seen already on the 6.5, and similarly the remote control is the same as you've already seen on the 6500. So the TV that you've seen there in the 7.1 is then taken into what you see here. So it's the same picture, the same dark metallic finishing, but we take that into, again, a version with a central stand, so a dark brush matching colour, extremely slim neck again, but we also, in this case, build in an integrated frontal sound unit in a matching polished metal finish.
Okay, specification wise, you make, of course, what Rod explained, a big step in design. Specifications, you make a step in picture quality. Danny gave the presentation about color, so this set has the premium color with a wider color gamut. You go to three-sided Ambilight in the core, so you go from 6.5 core two-sided to three-sided Ambilight on the 7.1. And you go to better sound. Tim gave that demonstration earlier today, so you have the backfiring 2.1 sound system 30 watt to have a better sound experience. And then moving to the 7181, what Rod said, besides the central neck stand and the soundbar you see below, the sound quality also improves from 30 watt to 45 watt sound output. And I think I hope at least that you heard the clear difference when Tim demonstrated the sound there. For the rest, picture quality wise and spec wise, it's the same as the 7101. You mentioned the 75 inch?
No, not yet.
We have this in 49, 55 inch and 65 inch, and we also bring a 75 inch which you can see on that side of the room, which has exactly the same specifications as the 7101. We see that segment growing, so that's an important proposition for 2016.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next in the story is the 7600. So I guess you've already seen the demonstration with Danny on the picture performance of this product, and in order to focus on the quality of that picture, we again use a dark metallic finishing on the full aluminium wrap, brush detailing on the front, and then up close to reinforce the communication of performance, we use this very small detail here, which is a new backlit Philips face for high end, and also these chrome open V stands. So they're a little bit more performance focused compared to the 7.1, but we think they again fit into homes, but obviously clearly radiate performance. For the remote control for the 7.6 and up, this is the latest remote control, and basically one of the key features that has been added, that the swipe functionality which is on this D-pad also has the option to be turned off if users feel the need to do so. So from a product which is very much about picture to the 8600, which is clearly delivering both on excellent picture but also excellent sound. So we want this to be the ultimate statement: four-sided ambilight, extremely tight dimensions, clear visible quality through the dark chrome detailing on the stand, tight bezel. Up close you see the dark metallic brush, but we also want to deliver excellent sound. So we obviously explored different versions of what that sound could be, and what we decided is it has to come into an extremely tight form factor in order that it doesn't disrupt your interior at home, and it also doesn't influence the four-sided ambilight. So this is the form factor that we resolved to achieve. Each of these sticks has 8 speakers in them in order to achieve that extremely slim form factor. And the reason that they're magnetically attached is that you can then buy these accessory stands. So basically this is what you get as the standard television, but you can choose to buy the stands which have a further speaker in the base to allow you to then push the sound left and right wider from the TV itself, wirelessly connect to the TV to give you a much better inclusive sound performance. These are individually powered, so they have cables, but the signal is wireless.
Right, specification-wise, you make a big step from the 7.1 to the 7.6. I hope Danny's demo was quite convincing. So you move to a 2D dimming set, so 128 segments, 700 nit light output, 500 nit average. So this is a perfect HDR TV to watch your content. Ambilight wise, you also have 3-sided ambilight. You have the premium color due to the color processing Danny explained to you today. The remote control Rod already explained, so the great thing is that you now can also switch off the swipe pad of the remote control. You have to also envision, I think that's something Danny mentioned, I hope at least, this is picture quality of the 9000 we launched in 2014. We now put in a 7.6, which we launched in the first half of 2016, which is really a nice flagship to have already before we launch the high end in the second half. Then if you move to the 8.6, which we already launched last year, Rod explained to you all about the design and the sound capabilities. You had the demonstration at Tim, so it's not much I can add, I think. Sound-wise, it's 70 watt total system. So if you buy the set, it's 50 watt. You have 8 speakers left, 8 speakers right, 2 speakers on the back. And if you buy the accessory, you have another 2 speakers, and then you have a total sound output of 70 watt. And this set has a light output of 700 nit. So this is also a very nice TV for HDR content. And that's a good bridge to HDR. So we have HDR enabled sets from the 6.4 onwards until the highest end televisions we bring in the market in 2016. Yeah, and last but not least, you go from 3-sided ambilight on the 7.6 to 4-sided ambilight on the 8.6. Right, any questions so far before we go to the last television, the Ambilux?